Two big things, viewers, in all of this. Number one, one's reverie is no different than the other's reverie, and you have three baskets to choose from. And if you just take away the name of the political outfit from the top, call it a manifesto, call it a poll promise, call it a Sankalp Patra, all three of them look exactly the same with just a give and take here and there of a couple of ₹100. Number two, all three manifestos completely cater to one vote bank, which in the recent past has emerged as one of the strongest, most unpredictable vote bank, and that is the woman vote. Let's cut across right now to our political panelists this evening and get in the point of view of each political party on how their manifesto, Sankalp Patra, call it what you may, is different than the other. Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party is with us. Akshay Marathe, National Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party. Mahima Singh, National Spokesperson, Congress. Akshay Marathe, till now, there was a certain amount of USP that came with the Aam Aadmi Party. You could have challenged it morally, economically, but clearly it seemed to have worked with the people, and that is what you call, with aplomb, reverie, freebies, poll sobs, call it what you may. It worked for the Aam Aadmi Party, especially in Delhi. Now, at the back of Maharashtra, where people very openly have accepted the Ladki Bahin Yojana, or a year and a half ago, the state of Madhya Pradesh, or even where Karnataka is concerned, you have free bus rides with the Congress, you have direct cash transfers in many forms. The question is, Akshay Marathe, what makes the Aam Aadmi Party so very different or appealing to the Delhi voter?
Preeti ji, first of all, I want to clarify that Aam Aadmi Party way back in 2015 had promised free electricity, free water, free education, free healthcare, and delivered on all these promises. It's only 10 years later that all these other parties have woken up to the idea that the people of India who pay lakhs of crores of taxes every year to the government also should get something back from those taxes. And that's why we are saying today that the BJP Sankalp Patra should actually be called Kejriwal Sankalp Patra, because they are saying we will do everything in Delhi that Arvind Kejriwal has been doing, already delivers to the people of Delhi, and when Arvind Kejriwal comes back to power, he will continue delivering to the people of Delhi. So if the BJP is not promising anything different than what Arvind Kejriwal ji has been already delivering, then why should somebody vote for BJP? Arvind Kejriwal has expertise in providing free electricity, free water, free and high quality education and healthcare. So what is the BJP's USP is the question that you should be asking today. And why am I saying this, Preeti ji? Because it's in the context of Aam Aadmi Party that Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister, had first said that this Revdi politics is bad, we will not provide any Revdis. Today, the Prime Minister should come out and clarify. Does he still stand by his attacks against Arvind Kejriwal ji and Aam Aadmi Party? Or does he now believe in the Kejriwal model of politics? Does the Prime Minister now, is he following Arvind Kejriwal's footsteps? That is the question he should be answering today. Because JP Nadda ji, who announced all these promises, he's only a figurehead. He doesn't call the shots in the BJP. The shots in the BJP are called by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And we have only heard Narendra Modi criticize Freaky Revdi. So if Narendra Modi ji wants people to believe that his party has also now changed its strategy and changed its political stance, he should come out, apologize to Arvind Kejriwal and say, yes, now I support Arvind Kejriwal's free Revdi politics. That's what the BJP should be doing today.
All right. But, Akshay Marathe, you made a point and where you said that, listen, the taxpayers need to get a little more than what they pay for. I would reckon there's a huge chunk of the taxpayers, and they come from the middle class and the upper middle class, or whatever, section that you might suggest, a huge chunk of them, where they don't get a single rupee of any of that reverie that you're offering, and you know that better. So to suggest that the entire Delhi is very, very happy with this kind of culture, no. Many people would step back and say, listen, I work very hard, I pay my taxes, yet I get absolutely nothing. So in that sense, I'm giving you I'll come back, I'll circle back to you. I'm giving you a perspective, a counter perspective of what you said. You said the taxpayers are very happy that they're getting something back. Most taxpayers aren't getting anything back. They're actually rather angry with this freebie politics.
Can I respond? You raise a very good question. It's very pertinent. And
I'll circle back. I'll circle back. Allow me to open up the debate and I'm circling back to you. I promise I'm going to come right back. Akshay Marathe, no, hold on to that point. I'm coming right back to you. Sanju Verma, there's a point that the Aam Aadmi Party has made, and it's a point which stands testimony in electoral history. Many moons ago, and it could be 2015, over till 2018, you have the Prime Minister who says this freebie revdi culture is going to only corrupt our society. It was something that was said. Forget about what the Prime Minister said then. I'll tell you exactly what various state Delhi chiefs, various senior leaders, including the likes of JP Nadda, even Smriti Irani in a press conference said very, very early in this election, which is less than a month ago, suggesting that Delhi does not have, the coffers of Delhi does not have a single rupee to give out as the Mahila Samman Yojana for the Aam Aadmi Party. You criticized it at length, saying Delhi cannot afford it. Where are you going to get the money from to start doling not 2,100, add 400 to it, 2,500 apiece?
You know, Preeti, I heard the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson very intently, and I expect to be given the same time. I will make a few points, and very pertinent ones at that. First and foremost, point number one, anybody with an iota of knowledge of how economics works knows that there is a difference between freebies and welfare economics. Freebies is when you don't have the means, when you don't have the resources, and you still promise, and eventually you fail to deliver. जो हिंदी में कहावत है, चादर देखकर अपना पांव फैलाना चाहिए. Welfare politics is when you have the resources, you have the bona fide intent, you have the means to deliver, and you finally execute with a bona fide intent to ensure that what you promised is finally delivered to the people on the ground. You don't promise the moon like Arvind Kejriwal did. And what did Delhiites get? Badbudar pani. Kejriwal promised the moon. What did Delhiites get? Kude ka dher. Just look at Ghazipur landfill. What did Kejriwal promise? The moon. And more than 650 schools either don't have a principal or a vice principal. What did Kejriwal promise? मैं तो जी दिल्ली को वेनिस बना दूंगा. यमुना की हालत देखिए. गंदगी से भरी यमुना को देखकर लोगों को गुस्सा भी आ रहा है और लोगों का द्वेष बढ़ रहा है. Kejriwal promised the moon, and you have to wait for 6 months in a government hospital in Delhi to get an MRI. Kejriwal promised the moon, and today for every 20,000 Delhiites, there is only one X-ray machine. Kejriwal promised the moon to slum dwellers, people in JJ clusters. But finally, it was Prime Minister Modi who at least had the audacity to challenge Kejriwal on his home turf and gave Swabhiman apartments at Ashok Vihar to people who had been taken for a royal ride down the garden path. That is the Kejriwal model. Kejriwal model is about mohalla clinics. 486 out of 500 mohalla clinics are lawaris, lying decadent, have turned into dump yards. Kejriwal model is कि भाई we have built world-class colleges and schools, but इनके खुद के जो मिनिस्टर हैं, उनका बेटा कनाडा में पढ़ाई कर रहा है. Kejriwal model is that इनकी खुद आतिशी मारलेना on your show says, yes, I visit Medanta Hospital. You know, I've never visited a mohalla clinic in my life. So ढकोसलेबाजी, hypocrisy, doglapan. These are the three pillars on which the Kejriwal model stands. Now coming to what you said, Preeti, very quickly. Yes, taxpayers need to be treated with dignity. They need to be treated with respect. But when Prime Minister Narendra Modi, you know, delivers the Delhi Alwar RRTS or the Delhi Panipat RRTS or the Delhi Meerut RRTS or the Noida airport, which is coming to fruition and will benefit Delhiites as well, or the Delhi Varanasi high-speed rail, or the Delhi Karnal metro, which has kicked off the ground in terms of approvals, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi needs to be applauded for unleashing an infrastructure boom. The money of Delhiites is being used to ensure that you have today 55 crore Jan Dhan bank accounts. 22% of the beneficiaries come from Delhi. You have 36 crore Ayushman.
I'll come back to you, Sanju Verma. I'm going to get in the Congress spokesperson right now. I'm going to come back to you, but I'm going to circle back to you on one question, because you said jitni chadar hai utna hi pair phailana chahiye. I just want to give the debt estimate, or rather the debt stock, where Maharashtra is concerned. It's surpassed 7 lakh crores. Ladki Bahin Yojana is being rolled out in Maharashtra. The state of Madhya Pradesh right now currently stands at 3 crore 75 lakh crore in debt. That is where the debt of Madhya Pradesh stands, and there is a Ladli Bahin Yojana. Ma'am, allow me to circle back to you, and I will ask you this question.
You can't make an allegation, Preeti. Give me 20
Ma'am, it's not an allegation. I'm just reading out what the debt stock is and how much both the states are in debt.
Can I please respond, Preeti?
Ma'am,
Give me 20
I didn't
seconds.
allow, ma'am, allow me. I didn't allow Akshay Marathi to respond. You've spoken 20 seconds more than Akshay Marathi. I'll circle back and you'll address this question. Allow me to bring in Mahima Singh from the Congress party, who's also joining us right now. Mahima Singh, same thing. I'll come back to you. It's very interesting. You can take on the Arvind Kejriwal government, but look what you've done in Karnataka. Look at your Sankalp Patra not your Sankalp Patra, your manifesto in Delhi. The Sankalp Patra is BJP's. Look what you offered in Haryana, it didn't quite work. Look what you offered in Maharashtra, and it didn't quite work. How is it any different? You're just offering more electricity, which is free. You're saying, if you surpass that 300 unit, even then that 300 unit will be counted for.
Jai Hind. Preeti, first of all, I must say that hearing the BJP spokesperson was the epitome of frivolity, because I was just wondering that the party that has reverie for the cronies, raids for the opposition, and rants for the common poor public is talking so tall on your show. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party's performance, and a rather poor one at that, is for everybody to see. And I think the public is going to get back at them. But the BJP and their likes, Preeti, have actually pushed the state of Delhi, also the Indian state, into a state of viciousness. The Congress party has always been the ambassador of state welfareism. We are the ones that championed the cause for decade after decade in the history of India, in the history of free India. And we are the ones that led this democracy, this economy to virtuousness. So today, the fight is, virtuousness versus viciousness. And I'll just explain these two cycles to you. One is the virtuousness consumption cycle, which is the way that the Congress led. And the other is the viciousness impoverishment cycle that the BJP and the likes have pushed this country and the state of Delhi to. I'll tell you how the freebies work in our mind, in our policy making. So when we, and what you call freebies and what we call welfareism, when we give direct cash transfer to our women especially and to our poor people, that leads to more demand from them of goods, which leads to more consumption, which leads to more incentive to produce, which leads to greater production, which leads to greater investments, which leads to greater job creation and then greater income. While the viciousness that the BJP has inflicted upon our country and the poor people of this country rather is greater taxes on middle class and poor people, lesser savings for consumption, lower incentives to produce and invest further, lesser job creation, and lower income at that. So when we are talking,
so with you it's very different. With the others, it's all corruption. In terms,
Preeti, please allow me a fair chance.
Ma'am, you have a fair chance. You have 10 more seconds. You can go ahead. 10 more seconds. Make your point.
I mean, there has to be parity of time when you are allowing the party.
Ma'am, therefore, I have a stopwatch. I suggest all of you open yours. Go ahead, ma'am. 10 seconds.
You see, when the BJP speaks today, it forgets to tell the people of this country that there is 5% tax. I mean, in their rallies, they should highlight this. 5% tax on helicopters, aeroplanes, and ships, while there is 28% tax on cars, motorcycles. So the common man.
All right, ma'am. Hard cut now. I'll come back to you. Allow me to bring in the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, because, one thing I think you can't take viewers for a ride and voters for a ride, importantly. Because you can say that it's welfareism, like the Congress welfare schemes of the BJP, or reverie, which leads to larger, bigger things. Ultimately, these are freebies, these are poll stops. Let's all get down with that first. And that's what they are. Akshay Marathi, you want to come back and address the questions? Because now it seems to be a race of distributing freebies, whether or not the coffers allow it. And yes, you may now address the question on what about a huge chunk of your voters, which is the middle class and the others who are saying we are paying our taxes and we are getting absolutely nothing in return. Basics aren't being taken care of. On mute, sir, on mute.
I'm sorry, let me break down the answer in two parts. The first part is, do we have the ability to deliver these freebies or not in terms of our coffers? Preeti ji, Delhi is the only state in India that produces more tax revenue than it is able to spend. We are the only state government that has the lowest debt to GDP ratio of only 3%, whereas MP, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, all these states run by the BJP where they are promising all these schemes, they are in massive debt when it comes to their GDP. So Delhi is actually financially responsible despite delivering on welfare measures. So you should not compare Delhi with other states because we have done a good job of financially managing Delhi's budgets. So let's keep that aside. Now let's come to the question of why should taxpayers who are giving money to the government get these free schemes. I'll give you some facts. When it comes to free Bijli, 70% of Delhi in the 6-month period in the winters get free electricity across the board. These 70% people are also taxpayers. They are lower middle class, they are middle class, they are from the poor class. So it is not as if our schemes are reaching only a certain class of people. And the biggest revdi of them all that we deliver is in education. I'll tell you, 25% of Aam Aadmi Party government's budget is invested into education.
20 seconds, sir. Make up your, yeah.
Every 1 rupee that Delhi government gets in tax revenue, 25 paisa is given to education. And in the last 5 years, Preeti ji, 4 lakh children have transferred their children from private schools to Delhi government schools. Who are these children? They are children of people from the middle class. They are saving tens and 20,000 rupees a year, because they are able to go to high quality world class government schools that Aam Aadmi Party has delivered. So there is a big difference between Aam Aadmi Party and other parties. We are delivering on foundational things. We are providing better quality. We are not just
all right, Akshay Maratha, you've spoken for a minute and a half. Let's cut across right now to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, coming back to the question of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, maybe you rephrase it, dil bada hona chahiye, chadar choti ho to kya ho? Go ahead.
Preeti, first and foremost, let me make this very clear. I have respect for you, but please stop taking pot shots at Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra when you did not even question the Congress on Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh.
Exactly, I did. You're not hearing me. Then you're casting aspersions. I did. Didn't I say Karnataka right in the beginning? No, I didn't add Himachal. Let me add Himachal. Go ahead.
Can I please finish?
Go ahead.
I said Karnataka and Himachal. Preeti, please. Let me complete. You always eat into my time. Kya dikkat hai, madam? Thoda suniye na, dheeraj se. Let me make one thing very clear. Today, under a Congress-led Himachal Pradesh, government employees in Himachal Pradesh are not getting salaries on time. And in November 2024, it is not the BJP, not Narendra Modi. The High Court in Himachal Pradesh said, attach the Himachal Bhavan in Delhi. The High Court in Himachal Pradesh said, 18 hotels owned by the Himachal state government should be put up for auction. Ye kar di hai Congress ne Himachal Pradesh ki halat. And the Congress spokesperson यहाँ पर आकर बैठकर, she has the audacity to say, वाह जी वाह, Congress जैसा governance model तो है ही नहीं. इनकी धज्जियां,
ma'am, allow her, I'll come to you. Allow her, can I get Sanju Verma?
इनकी हरियाणा में प्रीति धज्जियां उड़ गई. And I was on debate with this lady, Mahima Singh. She said, हरियाणा तो हम जीतेंगे जी. Today she has the nice big fat omelette on her face. Then I was on a debate with her on Maharashtra. She said, Maharashtra में BJP की धज्जियां उड़ जाएंगी. आपकी धज्जियां उड़ गई Maharashtra में.
Okay, ma'am, everyone just be civil. Sanju Verma, make your point. You have 20 seconds more, ma'am. Make your point.
No, I will take 30 seconds because she has been
otherwise,
listening.
Ma'am, can I just get Sanju Verma? Sanju Verma, make your point. 20 seconds, ma'am. Go ahead now.
No, I'll take 30 seconds with your permission, Preeti. महिमा सिंह को याद होना चाहिए. She told me महाराष्ट्र में बीजेपी की धज्जियां उड़ गई हैं. महिमा सिंह की पार्टी की धज्जियां उड़ चुकी हैं. Congress has been abandoned by the electorate. So, madam, stop giving bhashan to BJP. My last point is this. What is the budget of Maharashtra? The budget of Maharashtra annually is 7.5 lakh crore. And thanks to the Majhi Ladki Bahin Yojana, what was the annual expenditure, Preeti? Please, now listen. Your audience needs to listen. Annual expenditure was 18,000 crore, which is 2.4% of the annual budgetary outlay of Maharashtra. Now, speaking of Madhya Pradesh, annual budgetary outlay, 1 minute, 4.5 lakh crore we spent on Ladli Behan Yojana.
Ma'am, right now, all I know, okay, no, you can give, okay, data can be looked at whichever way you want to. Right now, both states are in debt. And let me say, alongside Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Mahima Singh, the questions of Himachal Pradesh, the questions of, ma'am, you cannot heckle me when I'm asking my questions. Mahima Singh, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, are also in debt. Look at the state of Himachal Pradesh. You might call it welfareism, but at what cost is it coming?
Before I go to answer your question, Preeti, let me thank the BJP spokesperson for giving everyone a live demonstration of the viciousness that I was talking about. When she talks about Maharashtra and Haryana, I might want to remind this country that we are asking the Election Commission for the voter turnout data, but the Election Commission refuses to provide so, and so we are convinced to say that these elections have not only been manipulated by EVM, but by the whole election commission, whole election machinery.
Why are you fighting Delhi then, Mahima Singh?
And I'm coming to your question, Preeti, but allow me to answer. You cannot ask
Please,
me.
you have 1 minute, ma'am. Go ahead.
Selectively speak on your show. So after hearing all this nonsense from the BJP spokesperson and what does an omelette look like on your show, I am not going to just keep mum and answer your targeted questions. Now coming to Himachal and the Congress ruled states you're asking me about, it is the Congress party that guaranteed right to health in the state of Rajasthan, just like we guaranteed right to information, right to education, right to employment to this country in our erstwhile ruling years. So the Congress knows policy making damn well, and we know how to execute it. We have shown this country that in the past.
Okay,
and
10 seconds, ma'am.
Walk that talk again. That is what we have been promising state after state.
No, ma'am, please don't interrupt. She has her time to speak. She has the last 10 seconds.
How does the gap between provisional voter turnout data and the final voter turnout data turn out to be so huge that if you were actually to see those voters go and vote, 60 lakh more voters voting in the state of Maharashtra after 5 p.m. would have taken 17-20 more hours.
Okay. Ma'am, hard cut. Ma'am, hard cut. And you know what's really sad is because, what's really sad is if any tough questions are asked of anyone, then it becomes targeting. Sanju Verma thought I was targeting her today. Mahima Singh thinks I'm targeting her today.